Good morning, Michelle House here from Rich Living. Welcome to High Vibes at 5:55, our last show for this season. And it is a really kind of weird day. Those of you that are watching the live are looking at me with makeup on. Nice and early this morning. Today is performance rehearsal day, and I'm just laughing at the universe and how the universe has strategically aligned all these things in my life. So today was going to be it is going to be our Rich Living Moment day, which, because it's Friday, that's what we do. We look back on the week that was and anything that wasn't working or turning out the way that we were expecting. How can we see that as a good thing and turn it into a Rich Living Moment? Or we share about our wonderful things that are happening in our lives, what we're grateful for, what we're appreciative of. So that's what Friday's about. And I know some of you are jumping on this live right now to tell me all about your Rich Living moments so I can share them on the podcast. But I get to share mine first because I'm the host. And what I find really funny is I was thinking I really would like to wrap up the season with a Rich Living moment of the whole season. So what I guess what High Vibes is as a Rich Living moments. And so I jumped on the computer and went to share my Twitter quote for the day, which is this: don't be intimidated by what you don't know. That can be your greatest strength, and ensure that you do things differently from everyone else. And I had been thinking prior to that, while I was putting on my makeup for performance rehearsals today, I was thinking that that's what I have loved so much about this experience of High Vibes. So I've been doing High Vibes, I can't even remember now. It's been a while. I think this is the 6th season. So yeah, I don't know, maybe it's 2 years. Good morning, everyone. I can see you all joining. So High Vibes for me has been a massive, I was going to say job is not the right word, a massive experience for me in stepping out of my comfort zone, in being an authentic version of me, of feeling the fear and doing it anyway. You know, all of the quotes that I can think of are sitting here behind this camera every morning at 5:55, because for me it's really important to be okay with not knowing everything, because there's always something new to learn. I don't think any of us know it all. I'm actually really looking forward to having a bit of a break, because I'm topping up my knowledge. I'm doing some training on myself to be fresh and ready for you guys to deliver some more in the next season. So I was hoping that by today I would have a really clear list of things for you to walk away with, so that you can have some Rich Living moments in your life as well. And then I was reminded of the Dr. Seuss book, Oh, the Places You'll Go. And I've just been trying to see, all of our books are packed away at the moment for moving. So I was just jumping on to see if I could find any the Places You'll Go. Oh, here we go. The Places You'll Go quotes. It's an amazing book. If you haven't read that book, I don't care how old you are, go to the bookshop and buy the Dr. Seuss book, Oh, the Places You'll Go. By the way, a really good idea for a christening present or somebody that's finishing school or university. It's a lovely story. It's an inspirational book by Dr. Seuss about life. And, you know, some of the quotes are, let me see if I can find some. Here we go. On and on you will hike, and I know you'll hike far and face up to your problems, whatever they are. You'll get mixed up, of course, as you already know. You'll get mixed up with many strange birds as you go. So be sure when you step with care and great tact, and remember that life's a great balancing act. Just never forget to be dexterous and deft, and never mix up your right foot with your left. So that's a great book to read, if you need some inspiration, if you need some, something to dip into about life and not taking it too seriously, something about life where you just step in and you have a crack. My biggest rich living moment ever about my business, about rich living, up until this moment right now, is doing High Vibes. It required me to have a huge amount of courage. I think my self-worth has expanded since then. I have nourished myself and my soul so much more just because I do High Vibes, just because I stepped out of my comfort zone. I'm more soulful and more connected and more grounded because I'm suggesting to you guys that meditation and grounding and flow riding is a great way to be connected to divine intelligence and make life easy. So while I'm telling you that, I'm doing that. So my greatest rich living moment in my life this far has been having the guts to have a crack at doing something like High Vibes. And that quote before about where is it? I've lost it. Hang on. Ensure you do things differently from everyone else. I know there's a marketing structure and strategy that is proven and that it works. I studied marketing. I studied business administration. I studied accounting and finance. I'm a financial literacy educator. But if I sat down behind my desk and opened up my doors and had, worked in a government department talking about financial literacy, I needed to step out of that space and do something different to what everyone else was doing. And I know that by doing that, I have impacted and inspired and changed lots of people's path that they were heading down. So my courage, and I know you have it too. When I started this, however long ago I started this, I did not ever imagine in a million years that this would unfold the way that it unfolded and that it has unfolded. So it's, hey Tammy, it's up to you to make a difference for your life and the way that it's going, but also a difference in other people's lives as well. That's our job as human beings, is compassion and empathy and inspiration and kindness and generosity, and helping other people live their rich lives, showing other people their rich living moments, seeing other people in struggle, in challenge, in despair, and helping them find a rich living moment will be a rich living moment for you. So the more that you are of service to people, I was speaking with a client of mine yesterday, the more that you come from the place of how can I serve today, which is all High Vibes has been about, is how can I serve today? What can I offer somebody else in the world? One person who watches this live, one person who listens to it on the podcast, one person who tells somebody about this. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I know that I can jump on here. It might even just be Robin, because I know Robin will jump on every morning. Beautiful Robin, who helps me all the time with sharing things around. So it might even just be Robin that day. It doesn't matter. I've woken up from the space of how can I serve, how can I help, how can I inspire, and that will create its ripple effect. When we stop coming from the place of how can I be rich and have a lot of money, that's not rich living. Rich living is how can I serve and the money will come. How can I serve and the abundance will come. How can I serve, be kind, be generous, teach, inspire, uplift. Prosperity will come. Got it around the wrong way if you're thinking, I've got to read this book, I've got to take this action first and foremost, and that's the only thing that you ever do. Rich living is way more than that. It's way more than just being about money. So I can't see anybody sharing their rich living moments over here. It's your turn. Quick, type, and share your rich living moments so I can share it with the people that are listening on the podcast. I'm a little bit more animated on here, and I'm getting your attention, and I'm wearing makeup. Changing it up a bit. Oh, here goes Nicole. You're a fast typer. Here goes Nicole. It's just a little bit more exciting for people, I guess, that are listening to it on the podcast. So here's Nicole. Hello, beautiful Nicole. Good morning to you. My rich living moment this week was having an impromptu lunch catch up with my bestie and our families. The sun finally came out to allow our kids to play in the park. We enjoyed a delicious lunch and fabulous conversation. It filled my bucket and made my soul happy. I'm so grateful to live this life. I'm so grateful that I've got you in my life. And, you know, this is the other thing. You don't know what your courageous action, one action, I'm going to turn my video camera on this morning and I'm going to talk about mindset with whoever's on Facebook. No jokes, that's how High Vibe started. So with that, then people become aware of your message and who you are and what you're about. So from me taking that courageous action, however many years ago it was, to do that, Nicole has seen that, or somebody in Nicole's space has seen that, which that had me speak at a conference about this kind of stuff, that then, you know, turns Nicole into one of my clients, one of my very active, amazing members in the Rich Living Academy, playing the prosperity game right now, but also a driven, determined woman ready to take her business to that next level. When I started High Vibes, that was not my intention, to get Nicole, right? My intention was, how can I serve? How can I serve? How can I serve? The money doesn't matter. How can I serve? Money doesn't matter to them either, but by the end of the day, because they're getting what they need to get. They're getting topped up. They're getting their inspiration. They're getting their motivation. They're getting, moving through their business and being accountable. Anybody else got anything else that they want to share this morning? How am I looking? Am I looking a bit 1940s? Sophie did my hair last night, but I had to, I went to bed with it. Nicole's saying, yes, thank you for that courage. I couldn't do without my daily dose of 555. So what happens next week is we will play some of the highlights of the last 11 weeks. You know, last week for me, I was like, gee, why has High Vibes gone so long this season? Well, I just found out yesterday it was an 11-week term. That's what happens when you're not listening to what's going on to your divine intelligence. Because my divine intelligence was telling me to wrap it up last week, and I was like, yeah, no, we've still got a week to go because it's an 11-week term. Anyway, next week, Daniel, who is my VA, will go around and find the highlights, the best ofs for this season and share them again at 5:55. So if you want to stay in the habit of being up and ready to be inspired at 5:55, they will come up in your feed at that time. And then we've got a couple of changes coming. So a couple of new things that I'll be working on over the next 2 weeks with some special friends. I'm going to ramp it up and zhuzh it up a little bit. So next season will be quite different to how it has been. Nicole's saying, you look pretty. Good luck with the performance. Please share video in the living room. Okay, I'm only sharing it. Oh, all right, I'll share it. Tabby, good morning. My moment came after acceptance and I set my intention to grow. Then I had some massive opportunities come my way as a result. Then the penny dropped for me. Awesome. I've missed you this term, Tammy. Robin, have fun today. You know, it's going to be full on. So I'm costume department, then racing out and doing the Parents Act, and then back at the costume department. It's going to be crazy. Actually exciting and fun, and I'm really looking forward to it. Sam, good morning, Sam. My rich living moment this week was having all my kids visit. Oh, how lovely, you had them all in the same spot and having a lovely evening together. That's really lovely. I know that that's unusual to get them all together. That's beautiful. So, rich living moments, as usual, the graphic will come up after we finish High Vibes this morning. If you think of something, you can share along on the page, on the Rich Living with Michelle House page. And then if you want to join the Academy and be a part of the next new moon, which will probably fall in, I think it does actually fall in our 2-week break, That's where we set the intention. So last night was full moon. Alchemy of Intention members have been through the process for the last 2 weeks and clearing their limiting beliefs and self-doubt in relation to their intentions, done a little bit of housekeeping, cleaned out the kitchen cupboard, so to speak, and their intentions have been set. So if you would like to be a part of that, or also the prosperity game, which is lots and lots of fun, you can join the academy, and that is michellehouse.com.au/academy. Robin, good morning. My rich living moment this week has been having all my family together. Yes, finally, Bo was back this week. Hey, Bo, good morning. And Nicole, I love how you flipped it. You were so worried about the performance at the beginning of the season, and now you're excited. I don't know. I'm scared and excited. I'll let you know. I woke up this morning and I had to do a calm meditation because I was starting to feel nervous. But I wasn't nervous about the performance. I was nervous about all of the kids being in the right order and all of the costumes being in the right order and the changeovers and the hairstyles and it's going to be a big day. Awesome. Flip it. I remember I used to play that song by Snoop. Was it Snoop? Flip it. No, that's MC Hammer. Anyway, time to go. Have beautiful school holidays if you're already on school holidays with your kids. Lucky you. And I will see you in 2 weeks' time. High vibes. You know where to find me. Bye.